What is going down, peeps? Elite FPA Belfast community. How we all doing? Sorry I haven't been on here in a couple of weeks, but it's been a busy ass few weeks, and we've been literally like flat to the mat. But we're back now. No excuses. We're back doing what we do best. Today I've got PJ, Mr. Nutrition Black, on here, and he's going to answer some questions because listen, a lot of people that come on to the elite coaching certification come on purely just for nutrition. Like, people love that shit, and I'm not the man to answer your questions, by the way, because PJ knows very well that, he's delved into this stuff a lot deeper than I have. So who better to come on here and answer some of your, most asked nutrition questions than this man right here. Okay. So PJ, you good to go, mate? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
Ready to wrap? Okay. So, first up, basically what we're going to do is PJ's going to tell us a bit about where, what got him interested in nutrition in the first place. And, I'm sure there's plenty of people on this page that can relate to this here as well. So PJ, tell us, mate, what was it that first triggered your such a need for so much information around nutrition?
I remember it all stemmed from probably the position you're in right now, which is wanting to know how to get bigger, how to get stronger, how to get leaner, how to get six-pack abs, reading the likes of Men's Health and realizing that, I can get abs in 4 weeks, like if I just do this crazy diet. And it really got me interested. I started going to the gym when I was about 14, 15 with my granddad. And I remember the first time where I actually thought I was in pretty good shape. I was 18 years of age and I was on a boys' holiday, and I was actually fat. I was fat. I can show you the photo of it. And I thought I was the bee's knees. I was doing a lot of arms, a lot of chest. But I just realized that I try to absorb as much information as possible. And I tried every diet, every fad under the sun, realizing, what was working, what wasn't working, but having no real knowledge behind it. And what really got me into it was the fact that I could bust my ass 6-7 days a week, double training sessions with football and Gaelic and obviously the weight, and not see the physical result that I wanted. And it annoyed me because I was just like, surely I'm putting in more work. Am I missing something here? Is it, and that's how I really got into it, was again from my own body shape, for me to look better. And again, as I say, it led me on this roller coaster journey I've been doing for the last 10 years.
Awesome, mate. And in terms of helping other people with this here, because I know it's, from day one, literally from day one, we've been working together. This has been a big sort of passion of yours to help other people around this information. Was there anything, sort of deeper rooted that maybe ignited your passion to help other people with nutrition?
Yeah, I think it was seeing people in the exact same position I was in, just chasing their tail, trying fad diets, trying these different, taking different pills or whatever it is to try and get a result where...
It's frustration.
Yeah, it was frustration. And as Lenny was sort of saying there, I delved into it more because I was more worried about my body composition. He has been lucky enough to stay in shape from day one. So it's hard for him to maybe relate or understand, where when I'm speaking to a client one-on-one or I'm speaking to a group or even the students, everyone, I'm that same person. I was in their shoes. I felt their frustrations. I felt their pains. And I'm able to then pass on that sort of knowledge from what I've learned and also the experience of what I found. And as you were saying there, I get into it because I wanted to help people. And there's nothing worse than seeing someone waste time, and especially waste money.
Yeah, I get that, man. Get that. Okay, man. So, from the start, because we were doing some crazy shit back in the day when kids, like we all are, fucking hell, everyone does, Yeah. I suppose it's misinformation, whatever. It doesn't matter anyway. You can't change the past. All you can do is make yourself better now. How has your nutritional coaching evolved? Since back in the day, what sort of journey has that taken you on?
Well, to give you a bit of an insight, starting 10 years ago, the main sort of popular diets in time were paleo or, carnivore diet or caveman diet. And these are the ones that were used for transformations pretty much around the world. Everyone got a diet plan off their coach, and it was pretty much just eating meat and veggies. Yeah. Bust your ass in the gym. And what actually happened was we were maybe given that meal plan that was given to us, and we passed it on to another person. And they just weren't getting the same results as you were. And you're trying to go, well, why is this not working for these people, but it's sort of worked for me. And that was the biggest trend I seen for coaches across the board, because at the end of the day, we want to make our clients' jobs easier, and they find that they just have guidelines or rules or be told what to do. It makes their job a little bit easier. So coaching ways, it has evolved from telling people exactly what to do to obviously then trying to encourage them to learn a little bit more, give them a little bit more freedom. And the main thing for me is remove the guilt. And what I mean by that is, every week we used to ask our clients, remember, bring in your food diary. We'll have a check out and see what you're doing right, see what you're doing wrong. And a lot of the times the clients would turn around and go, I forgot my food diary this week. And you're like, you should have brought that in. And then there'd be like a little slide dig, like, you don't want to know what I had at the weekend. And you're like, what? Because as a coach,
having a shit fit.
Yeah, as a coach, what you want is results. You want the best for your client, because those results are A, going to benefit your business, because you're going to have more before and afters you can share with people, and B, it's going to keep your client interested. It's going to keep them motivated. So it has evolved from telling people what to do to more into the psychology of eating, because we're now in a position now where we know exactly what works. We know what a calorie deficit looks like. We know that the majority of meal plans or programs out there will all invoke a calorie deficit to get in shape. So we have so much information now. It's just about, why aren't people applying this information? And that's where the psychology of it comes from. A couple of videos we did for our coaching clients here at Hybrid, I've sort of classified people into 3 stages. Stage 1, like little or no gym experience or little or no nutritional knowledge, don't really understand food, have never really had that background. And telling people, okay, I want you to take stock of, here's where you are right now. What is your next logical step? Instead of someone going, I want to lose 5 stone. Okay, well, how about you lose 1 stone, and then we'll worry about the next stone and the next stone and the next stone. So evolving into getting people to buy into the process, knowing that this is going to be, something that's going to challenge them. It's on the daily. But evolving more in terms of working with people, I would say, because I think once you get people on board, your nutrition coaching becomes 10 times easier.
Yeah, I love it, man. Absolutely love that there, dude. So tell me this here, right? Well, not me, I suppose, for some of the viewers are like, massive, like we have a pretty huge client pool at the minute at Hybrid, and there's a lot of work goes in right across the board to helping every single person on an individual level, right? So how does someone scale that to make that realistic, for a big group of people, and what is the difference in doing that versus one-on-one? Right. So, how do you as a coach manage this whole big group of people versus a one-on-one basis? Like what's the go-tos for people to do there?
So obviously managing groups is a lot more time consuming rather than going one-on-one, which poses its own sort of implications as well. We did a podcast, the Hybrid Fitness podcast, with a guy called Donnie Lennon from Sigma Nutrition. And a lot of it will be the likes of what you'll hear from the main nutritionists in the industry of, evidence-based coaching or scientifically backed evidence in terms of what to do with, how much protein you should eat, what supplements should be taken. And me and Donnie had a discussion about this, of when this should be applied. And the information he was talking about, that, the information in the scientific literature says that we should be eating 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So what he says is, in a room full of people, he will generalize nutrition. He'll not individualize it. So he'll give the basic guidelines. Okay, this is what we should be doing. Okay. And then what he'll do is he'll speak to people on an individual level. So to give you an example, our new UM42 program, we have got 20 people who've just started new, fresh. All different levels of experience in terms of training, nutrition, everything else. So what we've did is we bring them through this sort of learning journey. I got them to watch our videos on our client stages, take stock of where they're at, give them applicable knowledge of what their next step is. And then we're looking at, like, how do we individualize it for the person? So we have people who are shift workers who work 7 at night till 7 in the morning. How does their meal timings change compared to someone who works 9 to 5? Because this is where we start to add those little tweaks. We make it that individual to the person, so that they're like, okay, this is the plan that suits me.
This is where nutritional coaching really comes into it, because like you've said in the past, hand someone a cookie cutter diet and say, here, go and follow that, and it's like, you know, shit goes sideways, life gets in the way, and then all of the problems start to arise, and you're wondering why you're not getting results, and you're wondering why the client's frustrated. Yeah.
100%. And the best thing that we like to do, and what I like to do with our clients, is teach them contingency plans. Because at the end of the day, the piece of paper can lead you so far, but at some point you're going to have to think on your feet. It's a bit like, you know, working in a job and you get the operating procedures. Here's what happens if this occurs. So you know exactly what you're doing. There's the fire alarm goes off. Okay, this is where we all go when the fire goes off. This is the meeting point. So I tell my guys, if you haven't prepped, you know, the kids have been up all night, you know, you just haven't slept, whatever it is, you're not on point. So you need to think of what's the best worst case scenario. How do we plan ahead for that? Do we, if we're working in an office environment, do we have snacks and stuff that is in, you know, the office and around us, healthier options? Do we look at, okay, there's a canteen in work, what's the best options that I have available for that? And then it may be, oh, there's a shop down the street. Okay, there's a Spar. Well, what can I do? I can buy some chicken breast, I can maybe buy a salad, you know. It's getting them to
find the best option, really, rather than...
It's getting them to think on their feet rather than live by a piece of paper. And I think that's one of the biggest things that people struggle with. Because as a coach, you can give someone a meal plan, but I can guarantee 9 times out of 10, they're not going to follow that to a T, because it's not individualized. It's that cookie cutter.
Yeah, it's the perfect, you know, the dichotomy in it all, where the person, even though there's rules set and, you know, everyone knows exactly what they eat, but if they can't think for themselves in a situation where it's like, holy shit hits the fan, it's like, fuck, I'll just go ballistic and then I'll make up for it later. We've seen that so many times too. Cool, mate. So, you know, like, I don't know how many dads I've seen you going through. Like, what is the deal with that? Because I know you've done the warrior diet, you've done intermittent fasting, like, you know,
carb backload,
carb cycling, paleo. Like, why so much? You know, why so much testing? I suppose. Like, why would someone do that there? And, you know, what would you say to someone in that position right now, like testing that sort of stuff? Because the thing is, right? I mean, you know, we know the fundamentals of nutrition, right? And realistically, like, you don't really need to do that. Okay, so why do you insist on testing?
At the start, it was, again, based on me just trying to find an approach that got me there quicker, got me there faster. You know, all the sort of stuff that's publicized in the media, the fad diet type stuff. You know, the paleo diet will get you ripped in 4 weeks. I'm like, fuck, I want to try that. Because, like, at the end of the day, we all want results really, really quick. So I found that some things worked, some things didn't work. Before, obviously, I developed more my level of knowledge. And nowadays, I look at these different approaches as a way to learn about me and to learn about my body.
Okay.
So again, we know the basic principles behind weight loss, caloric deficit, whether we do that, nutrition, training, or both. So now what I'm doing is actually finding and fine-tuning and tweaking the best approach for me. And for this time, what really works for me is intermittent fasting. I think a lot of clients and a lot of people out there resonate towards intermittent fasting and likes of keto. And the reason why is because, okay, there's guidelines and parameters in place. People don't need to think. They're just told, eat X, Y, and Z. But as I said, the implications of that come whenever you're not on point and you can't think outside the box. So for me, it's about fine-tuning, tweaking what works for me, what doesn't work. And again, I'll hold my hands up. In my earlier days, you get into this bias. You're like, oh, this is the best diet. This is the best diet. Where now I'm a lot more open-minded. It has helped my knowledge tenfold.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just about to say. I mean, you know, if let's say someone comes in and they say, right, I'd like to try this sort of diet, or I think this will work for me, at least then you've got, you know, first-hand experience where you can say, right, this is what's going to happen. This is exactly what's going to happen. This is exactly this diet. You know, let's say if someone wants to integrate intermittent fasting into their diet, and they're going to go, they're just basically not going to eat nothing for, you know, the biggest bulk of the day. And, you know, they're going to be cranky. They're going to fall out with their fucking missus or their husband or whatever. And, you know, they're going to be going through certain stages. At least then you're in a position to say, this is what you're going to do. And this is how you need to approach it.
100%. And that's what you're going to do as a coach. You're going to teach from a position of experience and knowledge. And I know if I improve my experience and knowledge in different areas, then I can empathize with that client. I know what it's like to go through a prep week for dad, for photo shoots. I know what it's like to fast for a certain amount of hours. I know the health implications, I know the health benefits, and I can be there. And a lot of the time, what I do with my nutrition coaching, if we go back, is I offer people options. So we were sitting there, we're talking, I tell them what my plan would be for them, because if they know what the plan is, they can accept it, or they can say, I don't think that'll work for me. If they accept it, I've got them on board. And then it's a case of, if we hit a fork in the road, here's your two options. We can go here, here's the pros, here's the cons. We can go here, here's the pros, here's the cons. But the client feels involved the whole way through it, and they feel that it's individualized. So I think it just gives me a wealth of experience that I can then pass on to people and be able to empathize. And again, just making you a better coach. Because at the end of the day, if you're closed-minded, very biased, which we see a lot of coaches, it's 6 meals a day, you know, carbs every meal, or it's paleo, you're going to be limited in terms of how you're able to coach certain amount of clients.
Yeah, love that, man. Love that. You know, you mentioned Danny Lennon earlier as well, who we've had coaching at Elite and stuff as well, Sigma Nutrition.
Yeah.
What other resources out there could people look to? You know, I suppose it's a given, like our advanced nutrition course.
Yeah.
The first resource we're going to give you. What other resources out there for people, you know, in terms of someone looking to upskill themselves in nutrition?
So obviously you have the benefit now, there's a lot of online courses that run for a sort of year or so. So don't be going to Groupon and buy a nutritionist course for 49 quid.
Right, okay.
Unfortunately, that's not going to qualify.
It's not going to cut it.
Yeah. So you have the likes of Martin McDonald's MNU, which is very, very popular at the minute. You have Body Type Nutrition from someone called Ben Coomber, who we've interviewed.
Yeah, we had him over a few years back.
We had him, a great nutritionist. You also have the likes of Shredded by Science. A lot of these places based in the UK, Precision Nutrition, which is more of a world-renowned nutrition qualification, and then obviously our advanced nutrition course. So if you wanted to fast-track all those courses and put it into, you know, a weekend of learning that you can go and apply, then again, like I said, I would recommend our advanced nutrition, because that's what I've done. I've taken all the best bits from these courses, put it all together, and making it look like, you know, a real life.
This is what
prospect.
you do with it. This is what's going to happen. Right,
we deal with people. We teach people how to deal with people with autoimmune conditions, people with allergens, sensitivities. You know, maybe people who are celiac, people who again reverse dieting, people who are prepping for shows. All that sort of information is just put into 2 action-packed sort of days. And again, the main thing that I want people to leave Elite with is to have a plan of, when this type of client comes in, how do we assess that? What's the next step? How we progress that client on? Because a lot of stuff is theory-based, evidence-based in terms of science, but science-based doesn't always really translate practically
to real life.
Yeah. So it looks good in a lab, but how does it look with, you know, Mary, who has, you know, was beaten as a child, or has issues with her weight, and she's lost a lot of weight. She's scared of, you know, increasing her calories to lose more weight. She doesn't understand this process. How do we coach people through that? And I think that's a lot of stuff that's missing in theory-based stuff.
Cool. We haven't set a date yet for advanced nutrition, but we will do very shortly. Shortly. It'll be probably early 2020. Yeah. We'll set a date pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Finally, mate, if you had to go back and kind of re-educate yourself, what would you do differently? You know, what would you have maybe left out and thought, fuck, it was a waste of time? Or, you know, maybe what would you have added in to get shit done quicker, basically?
Pretty much I did what a lot of people did, which is get a bog standard course that didn't really teach me much. And I had to do all this learning afterwards. And we spoke about this on many videos. We have spent the guts of £30,000 in the last 10 years. Probably more now. Investing in ourselves, trying to learn courses. I was going to courses that I was nowhere near in a position to understand. So if it was me, it would be, when I do a course, go all in, research it, look at it, take the information, find out how I'm going to apply it. Whereas at the minute, a lot of coaches are doing one course and they're jumping to the next course and they're jumping to the next, and they're getting information overload. And they're not getting something that they can apply. Like the stuff that we do at Elite, you know, 18 weeks in our part-time course, people think, oh, it's a long time. It's not a long time when you're dealing with people's health, especially nutrition or training. So it's taking that information, absorbing it, and then going, okay, well, how am I going to implement this? So for me, it would probably be not do as many courses. It would be do the one that delivers the most for that time frame. Invest this money now, because if you don't, you're going to invest it anyway, and it's probably going to be, buy cheap, buy twice.
Yeah. Invest in quality over quantity, basically.
100%. And this is one of the reasons why, we deliver elite and we deliver the course we believe are the best, because we've done other courses. We know how good they are. We know how shit they are.
Yeah.
We know what they're lacking. And we put it all into this unbelievable course that is going to leave people here with the practical knowledge and the education, rather than just that piece of paper. This is what I'm going to do with a client, who's injured. This is what I'm going to do with my autoimmune client, or this client who has, IBS. All that information rolled into one. So yeah, I would probably not spend as much. Take knowledge on board and learn to apply it before going to execute.
Love it, dude. Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in, peeps. And like I say, we will announce an advanced nutrition course pretty soon. We'll get the rest of our 2020 dates up real soon. Now, just on that, this man covers like 7 weeks of nutrition on the elite coaching certification. So look, one of my courses in January are already gone. So if you want on there, you need to get your ass in touch with us ASAP, because you're going to miss out, and we're not announcing another part-time course until the end of 2020. So get in touch ASAP, peeps. Thanks for watching.
Speak soon.
Peace out.